battery's about to run out, so I got to do this quick. Okay, so we've spent the better part of the afternoon doing minor maintenance on the bikes. We did the valve adjustments, other minor brainstorming and tweaking, and then we assembled Adrian's new KipMoto SherpaX trailer. Put it all together. Everything went together just fine. Joel did a fantastic job with all the workmanship and craftsmanship on this. He made us some saddle mounts. I'll get a closer shot of this later to show you how he engineered this, but it allows the factory spacers to stay in here. He's got some standoffs and then an L bracket or saddle bracket that comes up, and the L locates against the bottom bracket to keep that thing from rotating. Nice job, Joel. Thank you, sir. So we put it all back together. We figured out how it went together with no real issue. It's basic mechanics. So now's the first road test. So I threw my action packer on here that's already loaded up with about 35 pounds worth of crap inside. Still dirty with Arkansas mud from our last trip. I got a bunch of camping gear, about 35 pounds in there. I'll weigh it later to get an exact measure, but first road test with the Cub, and Adrian wants me to do it because I've got experience pulling it with my XT, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. He's scared, he says, and he's drinking beer to take off the edge. So I'm going to give it a shot here, see what happens, and hopefully I don't end up tumbling on my head because I'm not wearing any safety gear. I'm just going to go around the block a couple times, try to set my chest camera angle here, and hopefully you guys can see something. I should have a camera on the back of this, but we're not going to go that far yet. Now, obviously, the action packer is totally blocking the tail light, so we're going to have to figure out the lighting on this. We've not done the electrical on this thing yet, but you can see the tail light staring straight into the action packer, so less than ideal. And you can tell by the turn signals there, the action packer and the trailer is just exactly the same width as the bike. So that's good and bad. Good because it's going to be in the slipstream of the bike aerodynamically. Bad because it's totally blocking these lights. So we do have to get the lighting done on this before we hit the road. We were thinking we might be able to cheat and skip doing the lighting the lazy man way, but that's not going to work out. I'm going to have to definitely do the lights so people can see what we're doing. So let's take it around the block and see if I don't end up on my head. I don't know what the Cub is going to feel like pulling a trailer, but we're about to find out together. Yeah, this exhaust is definitely noisy. Noisier than the factory, but oh well. So I can angle you guys up. I apologize if you're not looking at anything. I can't really tell what's going on because I got a chest rig on. Ooh, that exhaust is noisy. Sounds like a lawnmower. Oh, that's a noisy exhaust. But let's, it doesn't feel really much different than a normal Cub, so I'm not feeling that trailer behind me yet. That's a good thing. I would need to get it up to speed. Do I feel brave enough to do that without gear? Let's find out. If we get into a tail wag or a tank slapper, it might be tricky. The reason I mention that is because on my XT, this thing, the trailer behind the XT had a tendency to exaggerate the tail wag tendency of the bike itself, and it set up a nasty oscillation at 60 to 62 miles an hour. So I had to spend most of my trip hauling that thing for 2,000 miles with 55 miles an hour as my target. So I'll take it on this side road over here, coming back around the neighborhood, going about 45-ish, and we'll see how it feels. And I got this thing loaded pretty heavy. It's probably on the upward side of 35 pounds, so. Ooh, that exhaust is noisy. It still feels like it's down on power compared to mine. So I'm doing 50-ish right now. Yes, I'm speeding. It feels okay. bike is still responsive. I think this is a win. I don't notice any bad handling traits. The down on power issue is an exhaust thing, so I definitely have to figure that out. Feel it at all. That's really good. Wow, that's great. I didn't notice any cornering difference at all. We're talking about a combined weight of about 70 pounds back there. Bumps, no problem. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm on a chest rig with no mic. Awesome, man. I don't notice it back there at all. I notice it right there. Whoop. Fast transitions, I do notice it. It adds a delayed inertia to the bike on a fast transition. So, but you know, that was a rather extreme case. I was forcing the bike left-right in a fake slalom there. So that's the only handling anomaly I see so far. I guess we're going. That exhaust is noisy. So yeah, fast transitions, there's a delayed snapback. It's like a rubber band, but it doesn't really upset the bike. It does this. It undulates and tries to reset the bike's inertia. So it's a delayed input from the rear momentum of the trailer. So that's okay. It's not unmanageable. It's, you know, I kind of expect it. So oh, that's great. I love it. Trailer on a Cub. Yeah, baby. A month-long trip, 9,000 plus miles around the USA with a trailer on a Cub. All right, Adrian, take it for a rip. You barely notice it back there. You feel it when you make a fast transition, but that's it. We got to fix this rear fender thing. These things are flimsy. It's underpowered. It's definitely down on power compared to mine. So we're gonna have to figure out the fueling. I'll buy the license and the connector for my Power Vision 3 and we'll tune these things before we hit the road. Obviously we have to fix the lights because the lights are totally covered by the action packer here. So we got to get the rear lights on there like I have on my other trailer. Getting them tied into the Cub is going to be a trick. He and I discussed that. We're trying to figure it out. We looked in the owner's manual. The only way to get to the rear sub harness is right here under the seat, under the side panels and the body panels. So it's a pain in the butt. We have to disassemble all this stuff to get to that sub harness. There's no way to reach it from here because the only thing that's accessible through the back of this fender is this license plate bracket. All this for the tag light and the tail light are concealed by the metal inner fender in the void between the metal fender and the plastic fender. So yeah, it's gonna suck. So I'll figure out a way to get in there and tie in the sub harness for the lighting, but that's another story. So we'll resume that later. I'm gonna let him take this for a ride and I gotta change batteries in the camera. Catch you all in a bit.